Viewers, I'm Ganesh back again. I'm first of all thanking you all for giving such a view to my first financial education video, which is about GST and PAN number. Okay, I have made some corrections in that. You can see the video in the description box. In the video, I have said one or two points wrongly, which I have corrected in the description box. You can view that. And each and every topic which I am doing in this session, financial education, is based on your comments. So whenever I am getting most of the requests, so yesterday I got the request of how many types of business entities are there. To a person who is going to start a business has asked me this question. So which entity has to be chosen? So I am going to take different types of business entities today, and also I am getting so many other requests like what is a GST number, what is PAN number, how to apply PAN number. Lot of comments are coming. Day by day I will do videos on each and every topic. So today's my topic will be different types of business entities. So, types of entities. What is an entity? Entity is a formation to start a business. So, there are several forms to start a business. An individual alone can start a business, which is written here as sole proprietorship, and a very much group of persons can start a business like companies. Even government is a type of entity. So, let's go in detail for each person. There are totally 13 types of entities in India. Okay. The first one is first read through the types of entities. The first one is association of persons. Second, body of individuals. Then joint venture, consortium, artificial judicial person, Hindu undivided family, trust, sole proprietorship, partnership firm, limited liability partnership, company, government, local authority. You must have heard lot of types but might be unaware of some of the types which are written here. So let's start with association of persons. So I am just starting these four as together because there are some common features in these four. All are is a group of persons. Group of persons. The common motive. Common motive. So group of person, common motive, for income. So these are some common characteristics of these four. Now I will differentiate why, if the characteristics are common, why there are different types of entities. So first of all, look on to association of person, the motive, common motive for income, group of person. But in associate persons, the group of persons can be either company, partnership firm, individuals, whoever may be, and there might or might not be a contract. But in body of individuals, the main difference is that only individuals can join a body of individual. The trust, partnership, companies will not come under this, and they might or might not have a common motive. I said common motive, but in some cases there might not have a common motive. This is a gathering of individuals for a common purpose. And joint venture is, here there will not be individuals. So the difference, association person can be either individual or company. In this joint venture, only companies or firms can join together. Here there is no chance of individuals getting together. Then consortium. In addition to all these, consortium is a mostly we can see a consortium of different countries or different governments. So these are called consortium. All these are a group, different group which are comprising of all these. Might be different individuals come, then it becomes a body. It can be a group of entities also. Now moving onward to the next thing is artificial judicial person. So what is artificial judicial person? Artificial judicial person is nothing but an entity formed with special order of legislative, which means separate rule has been passed by the government to form a artificial judicial person. The examples, main example are university. For example, Mumbai University, Kerala University. So the universities, so which are controlled by separate legislature, and the biggest artificial judicial person is RBI. In India, RBI is also a artificial judicial person because RBI has a separate judicial power. Likewise, university have the power on education. RBI has the separate power to run the banks. Now, let's move on to next entity, which is Hindu undivided family. Hindu undivided family, as the name suggests, it is a entity for Hindu entity formed by Hindu community. Why a separate entity for Hindu community alone? Why there is no entity for other groups? Because in India, Hinduism is the base of all. So there are certain rules. They have started business. So I am not want to encourage Hindu community or discourage other communities. This is a type of entity under income tax and under financial field. I am just saying. I don't want to disgrace other communities. But in India, there is a separate entity only for Hindu community. I want to explain that. So why so? Because Hindu was the base religion in India, and they have first started business in India, and they have their internal rules. So to avoid the interest of Hindu community, they have accepted, and good things has been accepted, and separate entities has formed and rules regulated for that. So entity formed by Hindu community. Okay, and in as the name only, not only Hindu, Jain, Sikhs and Buddhist will also come under Hindu undivided family business. Okay. The next thing is there should be minimum 2 members. And the members should be of same ancestor family. Two family cannot be clubbed together form an HUF. So the short form of Hindu undivided family is HUF. Okay. So minimum 2 members is needed of the same family ancestor, and as like manager or MD in an organization, which is the highest level. Okay, here it is called Karta. Karta is the head of the organization, and he will be the oldest member of that business entity. For example, if 2 or 3 members are of a same family are joined together to form a Hindu undivided family business, then out of these 3, who is the elder one? He will be the Karta. Okay. So these are the features of Hindu undivided family. Now moving on to trust. You must have heard lot about the trust. Trust is nothing but an entity formed without profit motive. Entity which doesn't have profit motive. So rest all the 12 have something, no, not all the 12 except government, local authority and the trust doesn't have a profit motive. Okay, the rest all have a profit motive to run the business. They all run the entities to generate some profit and earn income. Here the trust is formed not to generate profit but they have to help others like religious. There are two types mainly we can classify as, sorry, which is religious trust and charity organization. So you must have heard several temples, churches, mosques have trust for their income. They are not making profit. They are generating income. The income given by the public are used for a public cause only. They are not using for making profit, and the amount earned is not shared among the members. They are just formed for a common purpose. Likewise, charity organization, several CRY, for example, CRY is a charity organization which is formed for child welfare. And for religious trust, I can say Tirupati Balaji Trust, which is the biggest religious trust in India. Tirupati Balaji Temple Trust. Okay, so there are other trusts also for safe care of environment or for other non-profit organization also come under trust. Now we will move on to sole proprietorship. What is sole proprietorship? Myself and you, if you are starting a business, it will be sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship nothing but an individual starting a business. An individual, like a grocery shop near my house, vegetable shop, because there will be only one owner. There will be only one owner, which is either me, you, a. So most of the person who are starting business, almost most of the business in India, if you count number of entities, the most are sole proprietorship only. This is the majority of the entities in India. Next, no separate legal entity. So there is no separate legal entity as the owner itself is the owner of the business. So there is nothing. If you see the example when I last video in the PAN card, I have said an individual PAN card. No, there is no separate PAN card for sole proprietorship because sole proprietor himself uses his own individual PAN card for starting the entity, and it is very easy to start. Next, very less investment. So if I had 100 rupees with me, I can start a business, sole proprietorship. There is no conditions, no formalities, nothing. So it is very easy to start business. Most of the business is sole proprietorship only in India. So this is the sole proprietorship business. Now let's go on to the partnership form. So next is partnership firm. Here one or two individuals are joined together, two or more joined together. Here you can have a doubt. Then association of persons, body of individuals are also same. But here the difference is that here there is a separate deal called partnership deal. Separate. The difference is there is an agreement between them. It is known as partnership deal. Okay, and the main drawback can be, we can say, it is unlimited liability. So this is a, if you compare about the risk factor, this is little bit riskier than other entities, because here if partners are within a family member, or then also there is a problem, but the risk factor is more, because if one partner do some mistake, the other partner also suffers. The liability is highly unlimited, because even you can use your personal properties if you go loss in the business. So these are the features of partnership firm. And there is a separate act for this partnership firm, which I forgot to tell. It is all the partnership firm are formed under Partnership Act 1932. So there is a separate act also in the for forming a partnership firm. Now we will move on to next thing, which is limited liability partnership. So what is limited liability partnership? It is more or less like partnership and have some features of company also. So we will move on to company after this. So limited liability partnership. So I said the partnership has a major drawback of unlimited liability. So if I need to start a partnership firm with limited liability, there comes limited liability partnership. Now LLP Act has been formed in the year 2008 to safeguard both the features of company and limit partnership firm. So this is a mixture of a company and partnership firm. So there were a lot of discussions were happening to mixture these two firm, because partnership firm is easy to start. Likewise LLP also easy to start and have the advantages of company also. Okay. So most of the features are like partnership firm only. There are separate deed, but it should be registered under MCQ, Minister of Corporate Affairs. It is registered and have the features of company as well as the partnership firm. So next we will look on to company. So there are 11 categories of companies. So it is now the types of entities are 13. In company alone there are 11 different types. Let's see which. So I have grouped it into 3, which is on the limit basis they have divided into 3. On the ownership basis it is divided into 4, and others which are other 4. So first of all we will discuss about limit based. So company limited by shares, which means this company, the liability is limited to the number of shares held by the owners or the shareholders. Next is the limit by guarantee. Here there is the in limited by guarantee companies, their liability is limited by the assets held by the company, and they will settle the liability with the guarantee they have given. And third one is unlimited company. Unlimited company is like in partnership firm we have seen that there is unlimited liability. Likewise, in unlimited company, the liability is unlimited. That means if the company is winded up or gone for a loss, you have to settle the liabilities by selling your properties, personal properties of the members. Now let's move on to ownership. These ownership based companies, that's most common. You day by day you are seeing private limited companies, public. These are the most common. Private limited are, it's a like this name say private group. It's a private group of maximum 200 members. So they cannot be public. The difference is that these 200 members, they cannot sell share for in a public to raise the fund. In public, you must have, most of the companies are public, listed companies which you can buy the share of the company from the share market. So you must have, most of the companies are public limited. You can Tata, Airtel, Birla. So these are the public limited companies. For that you can buy the company's share. That means what is a share? It's a ownership of a company. You can buy a share of a company from the share market. So this is called public company. Then third is government company. Government company is nothing but if a company owner is 51% more shares by the government, then it is called a government company. And fourth, it is a one-person company. So it is an extension of sole proprietorship. So sole proprietor, if he wants to run like a company, but he wants to run it alone, then comes the one-person company. So all the company rules comes here, and we can run it individually. And other four are foreign companies. Foreign companies are nothing but countries which are based out of India are termed as foreign company. Then holding company. Holding and subsidiary, these are interrelated. If a company is a main company and they are holding some subsidiaries like branches, but it is a separate entity, then the owning company is called the holding company, and the branches or the company under the holding company are called subsidiary company. Then last but not least, small company. If a company is termed as small company, means if the turnover of the company is less than 20 crores or capital less than 5 crore, it is termed as small company. And the major, all the companies like in partnership, all companies are formed under Companies Act, sorry, 2013. So you must think before that how the companies were formed. This is just amendment of previous act, Companies Act 1956. So due to recent changes, so many changes have happened, so many companies, foreign companies, collaborations have come. So there are changes happening in the economy. So all the changes have made and a new act has been formed in the year 2013. So all the companies which was formed in 1956 are also valid, but they have to follow the rules which is amended in the year 2013. Now we are going at the end of the session. Now two more are there, which are government and local authority. What is government? So we know what is government. All the government, Ministry of Affairs. So for example of government is Ministry of Affairs. Ministry of Defense. Here the ownership is 100% on the sorry. Here the ownership is 100% owned by government. Earlier, and we can say postal department, it is also a government company because which is the ownership is owned 100% by the government. Earlier there were so many government companies. Now it is being converted into, earlier electricity was only provided by the government. Now it is being privatized and lot of private organizations are also, so it cannot say it is a government. Now also recently if you see railways are also get into privatization. Earlier railways are entire ownership of the government. Now it is started. IRCTC, which is a railway running company, which is started private trains. So moving day by day, and you might have heard lot of public companies or government companies are selling their share to convert to public. So these are the government companies and local authority. What is local authority? Finally, local authority. What is a local authority? Local authorities are nearby our authorities like our municipal corporation, then panchayats. These are all the local authorities which are nearby our area, which are also controlled by government but not the central government. Local government or a state government or district government running this local authority. So that's all for the day, guys. Stay tuned for the next video on financial education. Thank you.